Hi all, I want to thank you for joining us on today's Ask Me Anything session. Index Engine normally delivers Ask the Expert webinars for our customers, our prospects, and our partners that they enjoy. But in celebration of International Women's Day that was celebrated earlier this month, we decided to just keep on going. So we've decided to do a little bit of a spin-off, and that is our Ask Me Anything webinar for today. So I have a panel of our lovely Index Engines women from various departments, and today we're going to just basically get down to business. So we hope that you enjoy this, that you get some great takeaways, and while we celebrate all month long. So without further ado, before we get into the actual conversation, I am going to jump into introducing each of our women. So first up, we have Emily. She's a sales engineer here at Index Engine. She joined about 2 months ago and has been loving the journey thus far. Her role involves working closely with customers and partners to provide technical expertise in cybersecurity backup and storage solutions. And like a true Sagittarius, she has a curious spirit, a love for exploration, whether it's through traveling, cooking, trying new foods, or through creative interests. Next up on our list is Dorota. She's our senior sales manager here at Index Engines, responsible for Eastern Europe, the DACH region, and the Nordics. And her favorite part of the job is winning, finding solutions rather than justifications. And a fun fact about Dorota is that she is terrified of motorcycles, yet soon she's going to be riding and owning one. So everyone watch out. And then we have finally Gabby. She is our senior marketing specialist and she manages our social media, email marketing, and events. Her favorite part of the job is bringing events like this one to life. It's both fun and rewarding. And a fun fact about her is she loves to read and she's read 100 books last year. And then for anyone that doesn't know me, my name is Natalie Segro. I'm the Partner Marketing and Enablement Manager here at Index Engines. I love building and strengthening our relationships, both partner and my stakeholder relationships. And a fun fact about me, anything regarding nature, being outdoors, that's my jam. So without further ado, I'm going to start these questions up with the ladies. So Gabby, how did you get into tech?
Well, yes, first of all, thanks, Nat. Those were great intros. I appreciate it. So I got into tech by accident, actually. This is my Index Engines is my first tech job. Last year, I lost my job. And then our VP of marketing actually reached out to me because of my LinkedIn profile, which is kind of cool. And so we had a conversation and it went really well. And here I am now. The rest is history.
So Emily, you're up next. How did you get into tech?
Yeah, so I studied computer science at GCSE, and I loved it. So I studied at A level, but then I absolutely hated it and I got terrible grades. And I was really demotivated, but I still chose to study at uni because I'm stubborn as hell. But then I ended up getting really great grades at uni. So it was a bit up and down journey. And then after that, I did a placement year as well. And I tried everything. I tried software engineering, data analytics, technical writing, and nothing really felt like the right fit for a long time. And I kept questioning whether I had made the right choice and whether I was in the right industry. And I think it was because I was constantly trying to force myself into a mold that I didn't really feel super passionate about. But yeah, then I had this kind of really difficult and honestly, it's kind of traumatizing experience that really knocked my confidence and set me back. And I think everyone's journey is different, but because I'm such a highly sensitive person, it really like knocked the life and energy out of me. And so I ended up like as a sales engineer now, it's something that I'm loving now. So I'm here still in the tech industry, and I think I'm here to stay. So right now I found something that I really enjoy. So I just want to see how it goes. And yeah, I think that really ties into like having a growth mindset as well, and like not getting into that negative thinking pattern. Yeah, and I think it is hard because there's so much pressure, like especially with success constantly shoved into your face with social media and everything. But yeah, I have to remind myself that essentially my journey is my own. So yeah.
Perfect. So Dorota, how did you get into tech?
Natalie, same as for Gabby. My career with techs, it was a total accident. Do I regret? No. Will I change it? Absolutely not. I enjoy it. I enjoy every day. And I thought if I can raise a child, I can do anything. So tech is for everyone. What I can say it's for everyone who wants to learn continuously. Yeah, and that's how I go into tech.
Excellent. All right, Gabby, question number 2. What skills do you think are most important for success?
Yes. Okay. Great question. This is more of like a soft skill, but I think having an open mind is important. Like if I didn't have an open mind, I wouldn't have even gotten into this industry in the first place after having a conversation with our VP. Like I said, tech wasn't really the industry I thought, or like I didn't see my career going in this direction. And so in having an open mind, I was, said yes to this opportunity. I even think within like my career itself, like putting on different hats and having an open mind and trying different things has given me like a really cool set of skills that I'm able to apply to the job that I have today and hopefully into the future as well. So yeah, having an open mind.
What skills do you think are most important for success?
So for me, I would say it's having like a growth mindset, because as someone who struggles with a lot of negative thoughts and like where if you have grown up in an environment where like pessimism or criticism is very common, you kind of internalize those thoughts of negative thinking. And I think it's actually having to train your brain to tell yourself that you can do something and that, you
Mm,
know, it's
yep.
meant for you. And also having like a curiosity for learning, and I don't think that comes like naturally to a lot of people, and so I also think that's like something you have to train. It's like discipline. And then lastly it's the having like pretending to be confident, like having the appearance of confidence, and basically not never being too honest about your self-doubt to others if it's in the workplace. I think you can tell like people you really trust, maybe outside of work, but people will just believe what you tell them about yourself. So if you act like you belong in an environment, they'll assume that you do because, yeah, confidence is just a front. So.
Excellent. Thank you. Dorota, what skills do you think are most important for success?
Well, for me, the most important skills for the success is definitely continuous learning and staying curious. Those skills help me to get to where I am today, and a strong communication. It's all about relationships. It's all about staying connected and building. Instead of building relationship, is building friendships, which blossom with sharing informations, etc. So definitely communication and staying and continuous learning.
Excellent. All right, Gabby, what advice would you give to someone in the workplace?
Leading with kindness. We're all human. We all have weird days, good days, bad days. And so I think just showing up to calls or emails or whatever conversations you're having, just showing up with kindness. And to back what Dee was saying, I feel like when you show up with kindness, you're creating lasting working relationships, and that for me is what's so rewarding about my job is are my coworkers. And so when you show up with kindness, you're able to kind of keep those relationships.
Love that, Gabby. This is great. Love that.
Excellent. Emily, what advice would you give to someone in the workplace?
Um, I would say for me, it's kind of having like the confidence or at least the appearance of it, because I think for me, for someone who maybe like confidence really doesn't come naturally, you can't in the workplace. I don't think you can be too honest about your self-doubt to others because people tend to believe what you tell them about yourself. So if you act like you belong, then they'll assume that you do. And I think confidence is about that. It's just about having a front. And yeah, that's it really.
Excellent. All right, Dorota, you're up. What advice would you give to someone in the workplace?
Well, I would say don't wait for permission to grow. Ask
Oh,
questions and take responsibility for your success. Make mistakes, It's okay to make mistakes. Making mistakes is a learning. And people say learn on other mistakes. Well, I disagree. I say if you won't feel the pain, you will never learn. So that's definitely what I would say. Just grow and be you. Let this be your journey and not somebody else's. So definitely that.
Excellent. All right, Gabby, we're gonna do the buzzwords. How do you handle imposter syndrome or self-doubt?
So I feel like I have imposter syndrome answering this question about imposter syndrome. I don't, this is something that I definitely just had last week. Um, so what helps me is recognizing that I'm in like a negative self-talk loop. That's usually what imposter syndrome is for me, is just I'm talking negatively about myself. And so being able to kind of stop that and say some nice things about myself, that is helpful. I also think having like talking to people about it is helpful, talking to girlfriends or even having some close relationships at work and talking to coworkers about feeling imposter syndrome, just like talking about it and having a conversation seems to be really helpful to me.
Excellent. Emily, same for you. How do you handle imposter syndrome or self-doubt?
Yeah, to be honest, like this question, I think like to be honest, I don't think I handle it. I think it's always there. And I think that I can't really talk about this topic without about like being a woman, and how I think it's kind of intrinsically linked, like having that self-doubt, and how in some cultures career and self-worth are actually very linked. And for someone who ties a lot of their self-worth to their career, I think imposter syndrome isn't just like a passing thought, it's a constant inner battle. And so it's kind of what Gabby said about having that negative cycle. And so yeah, I've dealt with a lot of kind of crippling self-esteem issues and like had to go into CBT for it. And yet like I don't think that ever disappears. And so I think there's kind of a strategic long-term and short-term approach to it. So I think the short term in the workplace is to kind of put on the front, which is what I was saying before, because people do believe what you tell them. And I think you should just confide in people that you really, really trust, and not necessarily just like expose yourself to everyone. But I think the long-term approach is actually trying to challenge that negative self-talk. So doing the therapy and the mindfulness and the journaling. Like I literally have some like positive affirmation cards with me. Like this one says, you can't see it, but it says, "I choose an amazing life." And like there's just one that I read every day, and I try to like, focus on actually trying to challenge those negative thoughts, because I think your mind is like the most powerful part of your body that's going to stop you from doing anything. And yeah, so I think your mind will literally self-sabotage you and prevent you from being the best version of yourself. So yeah, I would say the yeah, to summarize, and I know I've gone on a bit, but essentially, like I think there's a long-term approach you need to start working
Yes.
on, and it's up here
Yes.
and it's here.
Yep.
So
Yep. Mental health is the number one thing. Absolutely. Dorota, how do you handle imposter syndrome or self-doubt?
Oh, okay. Well, this is something that I go through every single day. It's a battle with myself, but I keep reminding myself that self-growth is it's not easy. It's painful and it's uncomfortable. So the way I deal with that is I keep reminding myself that I have to trust my worth. If I won't believe in myself, no one will. And people may say you're amazing, you're great, you're doing a good job, and etc. etc. But if I won't believe in it, then it doesn't matter. So I try to pick one thing and I say, well, I'm proud of myself, and I thank to myself for achieving this or achieving that. Little things, little steps every day. But yes, I am my own worst enemy, and I'm very critical towards myself, and I want to be better and the best every single day, but it's impossible. Perfection is an illusion. And we are great the way we are, and it's accepting yourself for who you are, and shielding yourself from criticisms from others, because
Yes.
it can be jealousy, it can be damaging. So if we want build that shield ourselves, no one will protect us. And as Natalie, you mentioned, mental health is such a sensitive and important topic, and it's not just in the workplace, but in general.
Yes.
And yeah, and we should be talking about it. And as Gabi said, just be open and not be ashamed of this subject at all. So yeah, that's how
Excellent
I deal with
answers.
that.
Excellent answers. All right, Gabby, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of career advice, what would that be?
So I think for me, I was so stressed out about like what my next career move would be. Like that those decisions were just so important and would determine the rest of my life. And I think looking back, I would just give myself a little bit more grace. And, I don't regret any of the experiences that I've had. I think every job opportunity that I've had has given me a skill set that has gotten me where I am today. So I think I would just tell myself to chill a little bit, to
Excellent. Emily, same thing. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I think I would tell myself not to give up, and that you'll make it work out. Because if you've survived one day and it's been really horrible, and you literally think you're not like it's not worth it, then you can survive another. And I would say like don't listen to everyone as well, because I could write an essay on all of like the unsolicited advice or the unnecessary comments or the mean things that people have said to me over the years. And sometimes it's even like well-meaning friends or family like telling you like not to go for something or not to do something because maybe you're not cut out or something like that, or people telling you you're not ambitious. But at the end of the day, I think you're the author of your own story, right? Like you've written the book and you've seen all the scrap chapters and the messy drafts, and the editor's notes and everything. But like the people reading your story, they only see like the finished product. And so I think it's about building your internal voice, and trusting that over anything external, whether it's like good or bad. Because yeah, people assume things about you, but they don't. That shouldn't like define you. And I think that's just part of the process, going back to like the strategic approach of like fighting that imposter syndrome, self-doubt. So yeah.
Excellent. Dorota,
Oh,
younger self, piece
that
of a career
question,
advice.
Natalie. Only if possible. There is so many things I would say to my younger me. But what I would say first is don't wait. Don't wait for
Love that.
anything anymore. Go and get what you want. You can be whoever you want to be. And it's true. Put hard work into it and you will get it. Don't be scared, and switch off the little whispers around you, and then just believe in yourself. And honestly, that's the key to a successful life. And I'm not saying a life without mistakes, because mistakes are part of it. But you you know the resistance in the young stage in my life was it had a big impact. I felt I could do much more if I had that push and not be scared of what people say or what people think. And so definitely don't wait. Opportunities won't knock to your door, and people won't come and help you. So you need to do it yourself. So definitely don't wait.
Ladies, I absolutely loved our conversation today. Just a few takeaways I wanted to just share as well in terms of all the questions that we covered. To anyone listening out there, your career does not have to be linear. You can jump to different roles, you can go through different industries. Some people have a lot of peaks, some will have a lot of valleys, but the only point is you're going forward. So as long as we're not going backwards, and there will be those times where you feel stuck, speak to your tribe, find your people, talk to them, and that's the biggest thing that I can take out of that. Help people along the way, and don't ever let, and I know this is a hard thing, we could say it easily, but we can't act on it so much, is don't let worry live in your brain rent free. We can't control what we can't
Definitely.
control. Yep.
Thank you so much,
Ladies,
Natalie.
thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you,
a wonderful
ladies.
day. For our audience out there listening, we hope you enjoyed, and we shall have more of these in the future. Take care.
Thank
Great.
you.